if you've been following me these last few months, I've been actually focused on finding your calling, understanding our calling. There is no calling if you don't have a caller. So one of the ways I've been going over that, I've just now finished a book called Find Your True Voice, Your Weakness Lights the Way. So one of the themes that I am focused on here today is that finding strength in your weakness, finding strength in weakness. That is my number 2 chapter in the book. And I focused on that just because a lot of life seems so weak. It seems like if God was more powerful, why didn't He show up in power instead of allowing us to go through suffering and weakness and challenges? This whole theme of weakness is not only in the Scripture, it is throughout our life. We are in the land of the dying, on the way to the land of the living. As you see, I'm doing this video in a graveyard. One of the reasons is that 5 days ago, a friend of mine, his name is Neal Vinson, he died of cancer. He was one of my closest friends. He was my partner in the ministry. He was the guy who lifted me. He and his family had been missionaries over in New Zealand, and he took on pancreatic cancer. But one thing, though, was he sent me a note, and I'm thinking about this note right now. Because I had told him he's one of my heroes. I told him I would speak somewhere, somehow for him. But he sent me this note. He says, I'm just experiencing these inconveniences. He said, brother, I assure you, I'm no hero. I'm not noble, brave, faithful, or anything remotely similar. I am a broken, sinful man who struggles every day wishing I had someone else's circumstances. To be honest, I simply wish God would heal me completely or take me home. As of course you know, he wrote that probably a month ago. And the weight of feeling my friend going through this suffering, this weakness, is almost more than I could handle. Reminded me of my dad who died in the same way. But there is hope. We have hope, and that's what I've been clinging on to. The hope of the resurrection. Because of Jesus, there is a resurrection. And Neal would want me to tell you that he's more alive right now than he's ever been. That he's in the presence of Christ. And he would say, if you don't know Jesus, he is your only hope. He is the only way, because every one of us are here, are in the land of the dying, on the way to the land of the living. But the Apostle Paul said in 1 Corinthians 15, he said this, so it will be with the resurrection of the dead. What is sown perishable, it will be raised imperishable. It's sown in dishonor, it will be raised in glory. It's sown in weakness, and it will be raised in power. Sown in weakness, sown in cancer, sown in our frailties, sown in stuttering, will be raised in power. I will miss my friend. But he's not in the tomb. He is with Jesus. His body, his weak, broken body is in the tomb. Just like Jesus was after he was crucified. I will see him again. And it's going to be an incredible reunion. That day that Jesus calls us home. Until that time, we watch and pray. And if you would, please pray for the Vinson family, that God would be glorified in this incredible loss.